Okay. Hey, good morning, everybody. I am so glad for those who hopped on live. It's amazing. Those who are watching the recording, I love you, stars. I know sometimes to schedule things in your life when you are so busy. It was really, really important for me to do this. I actually have a program that I run, Project U, on my other business, but I've been teaching a lot of my one-on-one clients, like the science behind how to eat. And when I realized, I put on my Facebook post, I asked everybody what the issue, where they had the struggle. Was it knowing what to do and accountability? And knowing what to do and accountability were very high, but knowing what to do was really big. That everyone just said, I just don't know what to do. I don't know how to start. I don't know where to go. And let's face it, we are all different, right? And I will tell you guys, when I first started NME Lifestyle, it was my NME programs, cookie cutter, because I had to go with the average woman, right? And the average stats to build a meal plan. And so it worked with a very small percentage of the group, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And I realized why I had my success was I also at some point was given like a cookie cutter meal plan, but then I learned that meal and what it was and why it was working, and then how to readjust to make it continue to work for me. So I took the information that was given to me and I did a lot of research, and I've spent the last 5 years doing all kinds of research with nutrition, understanding weight loss, helping a lot of people, you know, changing things up once I started to learn how different bodies were reacting. And I really started to realize that this is not here, do this and you'll be fine. This is, you got to learn you and adjust to you, which was really important. And that's sustainable weight loss. Anyone can eat at a massive deficit and you can lose weight. But for me, it was really understanding the science of why your body needs certain things and how it's going to make changes. So if you guys keep typing in there your goals, your biggest struggles, and that way at the end I'll discuss them. So for those who don't know me, just a quick recap. My name is Helen Costa-Giles and I'm from San Antonio, Texas. And I'm a mom of 2 little boys who hopefully don't run and jump in here, because I know they're just having that morning excitement. I'm married through 13 years, I think 13, 14 maybe now, I don't know. And I've been in my health journey for 6 years myself, and that's my before picture and after picture. And I've been helping a lot of 5 years now. This is a little bit older slide. And I just decided a year and a half ago to drop out of my corporate career to really get into the business of health and wellness. And that's kind of where I am. And I partnered with the company Isogenics. Most of you know Isogenics are on here. For those who don't, it's kind of why I ended up into the seat I'm in today. And so one of the things I want to tell you guys, so you know, today we're going to talk about, like, we're going to have you guys put in your goals, your struggles. I want to be very clear on what's a weight loss fad and what's lifestyle eating. I want you to understand why we eat and how to eat towards your goals with calories and macros, and then balancing and understanding your calories, right? Understanding the food that you're putting in, tracking food, sugar and sodium. We're going to talk about those sneaky micronutrients, and then I'm going to give you some sample balanced days, and then we can just hang out. And I'm really, there's so much I want to talk about today, but I know I only have so much time. So maybe what I'll do is continue these learnings once a week with you guys. But today it's more just about understanding the science of what we're eating. Okay. So current goals and struggles. See what everyone here. And I'm going to read them out loud. So we got there. So, Mary's got no fitness pal, but she uses Isogenics, and fitness is a struggle. Mary, just nod yes. Okay. You already know mine. I set my fitness pal. I wanted to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week, and my struggles are sweets. Okay. So sugars for Carla. Tara's, yes, she's got my fitness pal. Go for the next 2 weeks to follow the 11-day detox. Amazing. Oh my God, I'll talk to you about that later. And get back to healthy eating and movement every day. Long term is to release 25 pounds. Beautiful. Robin is, I don't use 3 pounds for my goal. Woo! Need to tone. How'd it go, Robin? Sherry is not using Fitness Pal since working from home. I've been doing my workouts daily. No struggles with food, but definitely love the beer. Every time I see you, Sherry, I just want to think of beer. Plus a plan in place to drop back to once I was twice. or twice a week. Okay, there we go. Tanya is my fitness pal. Yes. I have an autoimmune disorder, and while my goal is to lose weight, I know that I need to develop daily fitness routine, and I really need to develop my eating habits. Beautiful. Kate says goals to get the weight off that I've gained after having my first child, and then after my second child. I'm going to be 45 this year, and I've had miscarriages and don't want that to happen again. Beautiful. So Kate, you're looking at really rebalancing your body and nourishing it. That's beautiful. Lori, don't use Fitness Pal. Current goals are to lose another 80 pounds, slim, what did I lose there? Slim down, waistline, and overall tone, consistency, and self-sabotage are my biggest struggles. That's going to be a whole mind too, I think. Doesn't use Fitness Pal. Have extra restrictions due to cartilage, left knee, rotator cuff, and the shoulders. Try to get walking. Oops, to remind me about our call. Try to get as much walking as possible and stretching. I've definitely been drinking more beer since quarantine. Tanya and Sherry will be like total cheers at a local Helotes brewery. Oh my God. Okay. So, hey, I love that, guys. I love that. So here is what I want you guys to see the pattern. Everyone is just struggling with consistency, right? It's finding what to do, whether it be workout, food. A lot of times it's just really honoring the body. So here's the thing. Today, I'm going to do a lot of high education on why we eat. The mindset piece, I'm going to drop in a little bit, but you guys, when you really understand why we eat, it's going to change your relationship with food. And right now, and not if you guys agree, that you're dealing with a poor relationship with yourself and with food, right? Is that something I can say we all agree, right? And a lot of that comes from, right, understanding what food is doing to you physically and mentally. Also has to do with your own belief in consistency. And let's face it, everything I'm going to talk to you today about has everything to do with discipline, right? Is understanding and learning. I had to learn this and then stick with it, right? I can teach you guys this today, but I can't you do it, right? And this is something you have to learn on your, now you start to play with what I gave you. And of course, I'm always happy to help everybody. So fad diet versus lifestyle. Fad diet is something you do when you start and stop and start and stop. That me on the left was a decade of dieting. Okay, guys, I tried everything. You name it, I tried it. If it was there, I tried it. If it promotes fix, if it's high deprivation, meaning it's taking macronutrients away from you, or even just calories, it's super low calorie, low nutrient. You guys will find that high deprivating diets are very low nutrient. There's poop cleanses out there, right? They have a lot of stimulants in it and they're not sustainable, right? Let's face it, there are a lot of crazy diets out there that are gonna work, but can you sustain? That's the biggest thing. Lifestyle means that it's got to be simple for you. It's got to be balanced eating. It's got to have no deprivation. It's got to be, of course, low calorie for weight loss, but high nutrients. You want to focus on fat loss, not water weight. You want your food to be clean and you want it to be sustainable. That's the difference between lifestyle and dieting. I don't diet. One of the things I always talk to my clients, I'm like, I'm going to help you undiet your life and mind, because we want quick fix. Right? It's not even just the diet food we want. It's that diet mentality where we suffer and then we're mad and we feel defeated when we're not focusing on what's really happening inside our body. And that's what I want you guys to really start, is honor the body from the inside and not worry about the scale and the numbers and stuff. And I'll show you how to change those things. But today is going to be about understanding food and why food, right? Okay, and then, oh, Lori's got a plateau to deal with, so we'll deal with that. We'll talk about that too. So, guys, in the chat, I want you to just type in some of the crazy things you guys have done for fads, because we've all done it. Because I'll tell you, I have done phentermine. I have done juice cleanses. I have done crazy, like the Atkins thing, done the cabbage soup. I don't know if you guys ever did cabbage soup. I did that. I did all kinds of insane things. I would buy things off the shelf. I'd have like these high stimuli, like the fibrous poop things, and lost pounds, and it was great, but it wasn't something I did. So like, that's what I really want you guys to think about. All those things that you've tried, maybe they work, but they weren't sustainable, and it was just a fad. I have done way too many fads, which is why I love that I went to lifestyle eating. And so why we eat, you know, we have to eat. Everyone always feels guilty sometimes eating, right? And that's such a hard thing, because you want to know that you're eating for the right reasons. And let's face it, food in our DNA is pleasure, family, love. It's emotional, right? And I'll be honest with you guys, a lot of the times we are eating towards and not for living, okay? That is something I still struggle with sometimes too. Happy, mad, sad, I eat, right? No rhyme or reason. I just eat because my emotions are dictating this hunger, right? And so I want to explain to you guys why we eat. And I'm gonna do this that way. So here it is. When we eat, everything that we eat has calories, right? And every calorie has a job in your body, right? Right? Let's say we had like a pothole and we needed 2 construction workers, right, to fix it. But then like 20 of them show up, right? That is a bloated, right? That is a bloated check for a company to pay 20-something guys to fix one hole when you only needed 2, right? You needed to fix something, you only needed 2 people, but a whole bunch of guys showed up, right? It's the same thing with calories, right? Because they just hang around, those other guys just hang around and do nothing, right? And so we need to understand that all the calories do it. And so we run on a basal metabolic rate. It's called BMR. You might have seen those words. And to understand what that means is your metabolism. Sometimes people think the metabolism is like an emotional thing. It's like a energy thing. You know, sometimes people will be like, take your pills to boost your metabolism. It's not necessarily correct. It's just your body's form of energy, right? Your body's form of energy in this basal metabolic rate. We all have one. And it's all different, okay? It's all different. This is where people need to understand themselves, right? And so BMR is just the calories that your body needs to function. So for example, if I decided to sit around all day and do like Netflix and chill, it's what my body needs for my brain, my liver, my kidneys, my heart, my digestive system, my muscles to work while I'm sitting on the couch, Netflixing and chills, okay? That BMR number is a caloric count that you have to have to survive and have your body functioning correctly. If you're eating way less than your BMR, your digestive system, brain, your kidney, your liver, we do, when you guys, if you guys have a Fitbit, and I'll talk to you guys about watches in a minute, when you're at rest, like I'll burn 1,200 calories doing nothing all day, right? But it takes me like an hour to burn 300 calories in a workout, right? Like, you know what I mean? So you burn most of your calories at rest while you're sleeping, while you're chilling out. Majority of your calories are there because it's just your body to operate, right? And so everyone's BMR is so different. And I will tell you guys, my BMR sometimes changes from week to week to month to month. So women, this is guys, this is the science behind why men burn more weight and lose more weight than women, is because their energy burns, they burn way more calories than we can because of the way their bodies are, right? As we get older, we burn less calories, right? Like if I stay at the same height and weight I am now, in 10 years from now, right? My BMR right now is about 1,300. From now, it might be 1,200, okay? Because my body's just not functioning to the way it used to. And then if you have a lot of muscle in your body, right? Your muscle uses a lot of energy. And so even though you might look like small muscles, your BMR is also higher too. So your body needs more energy to operate all that muscle. Okay. Hint, hint, more muscle equals more fat burn. Okay. And so here is eating calories for weight loss. Okay. So calculating your BMR, guys, you can go online. What's my BMR? There's a 50 million calculators out online for it. Okay. If you're on my MyFitnessPal automatically does it for you. That number that MyFitnessPal gives you is your BMR plus what they think you move. So if you say, I'm somebody who is stationary all day, they'll probably only add like a couple hundred calories to your BMR. But if you say you're somebody active, it'll automatically add like an extra 500 calories. But to truly know your BMR, go online somewhere, type in your information, it's height, weight, age, and it'll tell you what your BMR is. Now, if you have a watch, right, I'll show you how your watch can really help benefit you to really fine tune and customize your own eating to you. For example, we're going to talk a lot, I think, about more of my stuff, right? So for example, there's a BMR of 1,212 calories, right? That would be like me waking up, chilling on the couch, and that's like 500 less a day. Do anyone monitor their steps? Yes, yes. Anybody monitor their daily steps? Yeah. 500 steps is like a bathroom break, right? That body at rest. It's almost not getting out of bed almost, right? And so, but the reality, we way more than that, right? Walking, working out, eating, just moving around the house, right? And so what you really, really want to learn is your TDEE, which is, I should have wrote the acronym for that. It's total daily energy expenditure. And if you have a Fitbit or an Apple Watch, you probably know that, because it'll tell you what your total calorie burned your entire day, right? If you guys ever see that, you calculate your active calories and your total calories you burn for the day. That's your TDEE. That is exactly what your body is using to burn, to function, to do everything that you wanted to do, right? So that's a really important thing. And when I'm working with my one-on-one clients, we determine what this is before I write and customize meal plans or do anything. I always say, let's figure out doing. Because just because I'm either working out for 30 minutes a day, my workout for 30 minutes a day can look very differently than Mary's. Mine can be extremely high intense and Mary's can be very low, right? So our TD needs in order to be able to, you have to be at a caloric deficit. Now, I want to paraphrase a little bit here too, is you can lose weight being at a major caloric deficit, but then it's unhealthy and you're losing muscle and tissue that you don't want to lose. Losing weight properly is at a very healthy caloric deficit. Okay, everyone knows what deficit means, meaning that you have to eat less than you are burning. Okay, and that is the only way to lose weight. So I did some screenshots because I figured I'd show you guys what my life looks like, what my day looks like. And so, okay, perfect. And so this was me a week ago. This is when I started, around the week before I started that 11-day talks. This is a screenshot from my Fitbit. So my Fitbit calculates my TDEE. These are my total daily energy expenditures. So you can see my goal is actually to reach 2,500 calories, and I'll explain to you guys why. Clearly I haven't hit it. But every day I know what it is. So when you look at it, even calculates my whole week. So my whole week average is about 2,300 calories, right? And here we go. So it's about, if I took my 1,600 divided by, my average is about 2,300 calories a day. That's what my body needs. My body needs to operate. Not to operate. That's what I'm burning, right? I need so many to operate, but 2,300. Okay, so if I want to sustain my weight where I'm at now, I get to eat 2,300 calories a day. Isn't that beautiful? If I wanted to sustain and maintain where I am now, 2,300 calories, okay? But that's not where I want to be, right? So to lose weight, guys, here's math. Does everyone agree? Numbers do not lie, right? Math is math, science is math. It does not lie, okay? So I want you to understand this is where it's really important. If you want to lose half a pound a week, you have to be at a deficit of 250 calories a day, which means if I wanted to lose half a pound a week, then I would be eating 2,050 calories a day, right? If I wanted to lose 1 pound a week, then I would be at a 500 calorie deficit a day. If I wanted to lose 1.5 pounds a week, it would be a 750 calorie deficit a day. If I wanted to lose 2 pounds a week, which I would not recommend going any more than 2 pounds a week, that's already aggressive, but it's still healthy, right? It would be 1,000 calories deficit a day, which is why in 11 days, I lost 9.5 pounds because I ate 1,300 calories a day and I fasted for 4 days. So I knew what my TDE number, I knew what my body was burning, and I knew I needed to be at the deficit for the right weight loss I wanted, okay? So if you guys want to screenshot this, print it, that's fine. Take a picture of it, just so you guys understand these numbers. But this is the math. This is the math, okay? And understanding it and learning it will take a little while because you have to your habits by tracking your food, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But this is where I know if I'm having success or not. So let's face it, 1 week you have 2 pounds and you're like, awesome. And the next week you're like, nothing. But oh snap, I ate an extra 3,000 calories in like a matter of 4 days or whatever it might be, right? Just because you do good for 1 or 2 days. Remember, I calculated all week. This is a deficit so that at the end of the week, I'm at the proper deficit, right? So with me wanting to lose 2 pounds a week, I'm at a total 7,000 calorie deficit at a 16,000, a total accumulative. Weight loss is an accumulative, consistent action. Okay? So really understand that. So that's the number of the calories. Now, one of the things that, does everyone kind of get that? Everyone, is that clear? Did I make that very clear? Thumbs up if it was very clear, understandable. I can't see everybody, but yes, yes, yes. I love everybody who's on. Awesome. Okay. So this is why I want to eat 1,500 calories a day and I still want to lose 2 pounds a week. So if I want to eat calories a day because I really want that extra snack before bed, right? Because that's just me. I love it. Then my goal is going to be to burn 2,500 calories a day. But I haven't really hit it. So I keep eating 1,300 calories a day, right? Sometimes that 2,500 calories might have to include your post-workout meal, right? If I'm going to burn extra calories, especially through workout, which is why you see there's post-recovery meals, because your body needs to be fed, okay? And I'll explain to you what your body needs to be fed. But if you continue to work out and you continue to be at too much of a deficit, right? Let's say you go more than 1,000 calorie deficit, then your muscles are not being fed for recovery. Everything's not, you're going to lose muscle because your body's going to take it for energy, and you don't want to do that. So you have to continue your body being fed. So please try not to ever go below an 1,000 calorie deficit unless you're in a fast, and that's a different thing. And that's going to be a whole other class one day, and I'll talk about fasting another day. Okay. So can we agree that not all calories are equal? I don't like to talk calories, but I think it's an important thing for you to understand that the calories, okay? They are not equal at all, which is why certain diet plans frustrate me, because they promote unhealthy foods, but as long as you're in your calories, right? So here it is. To have your calories, you want your calories to have a return on investment on your body, meaning that they have a function to do something in your body, because there are calories that have zero return on investment in your body. And if anything, they've got like a negative ROI. They're like taking away from you instead of giving to you. right? It is your choice and decision to feed yourself that'll give your body some type of investment, right? Or some type of fuel that. So calories, the word calories is a measurement of energy, just like miles is, you know, a measurement of distance and inches. Calories is a measurement of energy. That's it. It's nothing fancy like that. And so, and everything we eat has calories. And so let's face it, a pizza and burger, even though they're within your same calories, is not going to have the same result as somebody eating clean within those calories too. Okay. But I'm not telling you can never eat pizza and beer, because those are two of my pizza and burgers, of course, and beer, because they're my favorite things too. Right. But we have to understand moderation too. And so when you take your calories and you break it up into macronutrients, right? Now you're being able to understand what your body needs out of those calories. I have a set of calories, right? For me right now, what do we say it was 1,300, right? So I have 1,300 calories that Helen can eat every day, right? Do you think Helen will function if she eats 1,300 calories of straight up carbohydrates? Right? Or 1,300 of straight up fat, right? And so this is where we have to understand that calories are not equal, right? And so the body needs the protein, carbs, and fat to function. It needs it. I don't care what anyone says, it needs them, okay? So here is how your body uses carbs. And here's where I want you to understand. So, and here's some other, I love a little bit of math. I got into a math game, but 1 gram of carb is 4 calories. 4 calories, there we go, 4, okay? 1 gram of carb is 4 calories. That may or may not mean anything to you right now, that's fine, but I just want you to understand that. So our body's preference is to use carbohydrates as energy. Its backup is fat, but its preference is to go to carbohydrates, right? So it turns it into glucose, which is blood sugar as we know it, right? And with that, we only need so much glucose for our insulins, and anything excess to that, right? Anything excess we have, our body takes that and it stores it into our fat cells, because it says, I'm going to keep you in case I need you later, because I don't need you right now, but I might need you later, okay? So the excess of carbohydrates will turn into your fat cells. And as your fat cells store in more toxic junk, right? What do? Bigger, right? We always have fat cells. Even the most leanest, strongest person still has fat cells, except for they're really tight and they're not full of junk, which is why we talk about detoxing a lot, okay? So that's function of carbs, energy. Excess goes into stored fat in our cells because our body thinks it needs it later. Our bodies are super smart, guys. You cannot outsmart this body. You cannot outsmart it, okay? Proteins. Protein, 1 gram of protein is also 4 calories, okay? And so our body takes the protein and it breaks it down to amino. Has anyone heard of amino acids before? I'm sure you've, like, right? We have our amino acids in our repair and isogenics. There's amino acids sold all over the place because protein is the only thing that you can eat that your body can break up amino acids. In fact, if you take protein completely out of your diet, you're in big trouble. In big trouble. Your body needs protein is the one necessary macronutrient, needs it because nothing else makes amino acids in our body except for the protein. So those amino acids help repair. So if you're not eating enough protein, I always do amino acid drink like my BCAAs, right? Branched chain amino acids after a workout to help repair, because my body might not have enough protein in to repair that muscle the way I want to. It also transcribes DNA in your body. Your digestive enzymes are from amino acids. And your body doesn't store protein. In a very, very rare case, it might store protein. It comes in, it does its job, it's out. It's not like a carb or a fat. It comes in, it comes out. So I hear a lot of people saying, oh my God, that's too much protein in my diet. I'm like, but you need it because it doesn't hang around like a carb and a fat. The protein comes in and out, it uses it and it's done. And so you have to keep replenishing your body with protein, right? And so it's the essential, macronutrient, okay? So fat, so here we go. 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. It is the most most calorie dense macronutrient, okay? So it's over double what a carb and a protein is, okay? And so our bodies also use the fat as energy, which is why you hear about the keto diet, right? What the keto diet does is it drops your carbs to almost nothing. And ketosis, to have your body in ketosis means your body is solely functioning off fat power, okay? Here is why I don't like keto. Because that's not your body's primary source of energy, and it knows that, right? But you force it into it because you're super low carbs. Then you decide to have some strawberries one day, and then your body goes, whoa, out of ketosis, we're back into carb energy, right? And then it takes your body a little while to retrain it back into fat. So I'm not a fan of it because it doesn't allow a lot of flexibility, right? And it's really a part of the science of your body. So again, our body turns our fat into fatty acids and cholesterol. Basically, it helps protect our organs, right? And make sure that protein does its jobs. It also is a huge messenger for hormones and neurotransmitters for your brain, okay? Because guys, do you see that image? That your brain is 60% fat and it needs the fatty acids, right? I love this image because it says fat-free is enough for my brain. Right? You remember like 20 years ago, it was everything had to be fat-free. Like everyone, you know what I mean? Everyone's like, don't eat fat. It's like, yes, you need fat, you know, at least 25-30% of your diet fat. But so how your balanced macros are for how to eat the balanced macros for weight loss for lifestyle eating. Okay? Because you can go extreme. You can go high protein, super low carb. You can go high fat, right, which is keto and low carb. But I think, and it's what Isagenix does, is we promote very balanced eating because that's lifestyle, right? How I lost weight is how I'm going to maintain it. So remember, my TDE was 2,300, right? If I wanted to sustain it, it'd be 2,300. Lose 2 pounds a week. So I'm going to eat 1,300 calories a day. That's my goal. Guys, this is legit my goal right now, by the way. So it was really fun when I changed these last night. I wanted it to be what's going on now. So out of those 1,300 calories, I want 40% of them to be carbohydrates. So for me, it's 130 grams of protein, right? In my Isagenix shakes, I get 48 of those 130 from there. The rest I get through either my meats, right? Some of my grains, cheese, right? And I get them in there. My yogurts, right? I'm trying to stick away from cheese, but that comes through. And I'll show you guys some of those, what's a healthy carb later. My proteins, I want to be at 40%. Again, it's 130 grams because it's only 4 calories. Do you see that? 130 grams times 4 calories equals 520 of my calories. You guys seen the math now? I love math, right? Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie, right? And then my fat. I could eat 29 grams of fat, which is 261 calories, which is really, really hard. Staying at 29 grams of fat is really hard for me because, you know, I have to get creative on how I cook with oils. I love avocado and I love nuts. And so it's easy to increase. And sometimes, you know, some days I do and I don't sweat it. The hardest for me to keep there. So does this make sense to you guys? The balanced? Okay. And so that's my 1,300 calories, like 1,301 if you kind of had to round it around, right? Okay, so for example, I'm going to show you an Isagenix shake because this is why I need for people to understand that we're not diet shakes. We're not weight loss shakes, right? So is everyone Isagenix here? I don't even know. Put your hands up if you're Isagenix. Yes, yes. Mostly Isagenix, not everybody. Okay, cool. So, and the reason why I just wanted to show this, because even if you're building your own meal or if you're drinking in the mornings, I do these shakes even when this is the first time I've actually gotten back into major weight loss mode, but they're 40, 40, 20. So a lot of people who are not used to a meal replacement because they're used to a supplement or a shake, a diet shake and a supplement is usually low calorie, okay? People will look at it going, oh my God, it's got 20 grams of carb in it, right? And they freak out. I've heard that a million times. Here's everyone freaks out, but it's balanced. It's a full meal. It is low calorie, right? But if you can look at the way Isagenix is played out, it's 40, 40, 20. Very similar on how I coach everybody how to eat, right? Unless you're an athlete, I change you. But on most average people, 40, 40, 20 works good. 40, 40, 20 works good for me, right? And so there's the facts again. I just thought that was funny. Not every every calorie is, right? I love birthday cake. I should have drank it this morning. But anyways, so not every calorie is equal. So here's where we have like a balanced meal compared to a shake. Cake is not balanced at all. Like, look at this, insane, like 40 grams of carbs and 2 protein. That's not balanced. And so the shakes have super high nutrients. So this is where, and I'm bringing up the isogenic shakes because a lot of you have it ready available, but for most of our food, to get this nutrients in a 240 calorie meal is almost impossible. If I had to find all the natural foods, whole foods, to give me these vitamins, my breakfast would be like 2,000 calories, because now I'm adding chia seeds, I'm adding vegetables. Like, one of the things that it's even hard to find, because it's not even, I'd have to have like 7 cups of spinach in my omelet in order to get some of the minerals. So zinc, copper, and chromium, iodine, these are minerals our bodies, it is the spark plugs of our bodies. Okay, look, we got 80%, 50%, 45% of what we need, right, in our shakes. Imagine you have 2, then you have your day's worth of it. Our food, okay, I want you guys to look at those minerals. Our food is no longer as nutrient rich as it used to be. I went and got this off of facts. I went to the CDC, I went to all kinds of scientific websites. Right now they're saying between 5 to 40%. Our soil is so deficient that it's not feeding our food what it needs. Okay, here are all the minerals 40 years ago and now, right? So this really means that a lot of us are nutrient deficient somewhere because our food just doesn't give what it has anymore, right? And so this was some facts that I pulled up that I thought were kind of crazy. That 9 out of 10 Americans are deficient in potassium or calcium, vitamin E, A, C, and magnesium, right? I take a lot of extra magnesium because I know I'm deficient in it, right? Magnesium also helps my calm nerves. You guys are like super stressed out. Magnesium is amazing. If you have some gut issues, magnesium is amazing. But once you start to learn this, right, you'll know. But if you're feeling fatigue, brain fog, if your muscles are not recovering the way it is, you have chronic health issues, you might have a deficiency somewhere, which is why a lot of my Isogenics customers are like, oh my God, I feel amazing. I'm like, yeah, because your body is getting what it needs. I don't know what deficiencies you might have, so I don't know what your first week might be. It might be that you slept better. It might be that more energy. It might be that your brain fog lifted. Whatever it might be, you're probably missing some major nutrient that now your body is getting fed, okay? And yes, this is my Isogenics promotion in here because I want people to understand why these shakes are not diet. And people will be like, Helen, are you gonna drink shakes for the rest of your life? Because of this screen, hell yes. Because of this screen, hell yes. It is my nutrition, okay? Everyone get that? Understand it, right? A cup of spinach 40 years ago is not the same nutrients as a cup of spinach today. It would take you like 30 cups of spinach to get you the nutrients that we had back then, okay? And so here's the thing. I know some of you are tracking, some of you are not tracking, but why I feel tracking is important. So I've been coaching women for a long time. I'm doing a lot of solo one-on-one coaching now, and here is what I'm seeing in my journey and with most of the women who've had some sustainable long-term success with they tracked their food. And it's not forever. It's not forever. I track my food for maybe about a year or so. I'll track now because I'm in a weight loss mode because I need to keep myself in check. But it's no different than you guys balancing your bank account. Does everybody in here balance their bank account or kind of wish they should have because they would save more money? Yes, 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 okay? Your food intake, calories in, calories out, cash in, cash out. Same thing, guys. Same thing. If you monitor every penny you spent, would you not have that dream car by now? Or be at the spa more often, right? If you tracked all the money you spent and understood it, right? You'd be more self-aware and you'd be able to know where to adjust to save more. Same thing with what you eat. And I know it's hard and I know it's frustrating. And if you're in a mental state, it feels like a chore. But when it comes down to learning you and lifestyle, for me, This is how I coach, because I know that when I'm done with working with people that I've just set them and I taught them how to fish, right? What they needed to learn about themselves. So if they ever had to self-correct later, I'm self-correcting at the moment right now. I know what to do, okay? So here are the best results. And this is how you pay attention to how you learn. So tracking allows you to know your truth, okay? I have so many people come to me saying, I eat healthy, I eat clean, I eat healthy, I eat clean. I'm like, awesome. Can you track like the last 4 days of food? And then they give it to me and I see 80% carbohydrates. And they're eating clean. Don't get me wrong, they're eating clean, like 10% protein, right? They're not feeding their body everything, or they're not eating enough calories, or they're eating too many calories, right? But you're eating clean still. Eating clean does not equal success. Clean smart equals success, right? Tracking lets you be able to be more conscious of a balanced lifestyle, right? Have you guys ever heard of intuitive eating? Intuitive eating, just kind of understanding your body and eating when you know you need to. I believe I'm an intuitive eater, but I wasn't an intuitive eater. Learn my body to understand, to be more intuitive to it, right? I had to understand when I was lacking things in my body to eat, right? You become an intuitive eater once you learn your body more, right? And trust me, the balance 44-20 might not work for you, right? You might have to readjust a little bit more, right? If you're a runner or a major athlete, you're gonna have to increase those carbs, okay? But learning how you eat and telling your truth, right? Typing in and being like, ooh, maybe I'm not eating as much as I thought I was, or I'm eating way more than I thought I was, or maybe I'm really off balance and I didn't think I was. It tells your truth. So, and again, tracking doesn't mean you need to be for a lifetime, for you to make the best decision for you, right? And that's the important thing. I go to a restaurant and I'm like a mathematician looking at the menu, right? And I'm like, if I know that that plate's gonna have a carbs and I know it's gonna have, like in Texas, like for me, I eat 4 or 5 ounces of meat, but in Texas they give you like 15 ounces, right? I'll ask for a doggy bag and I'll cut that meat and I'll put it out to the side, because let's face it, even if I have a 15-ounce piece of chicken in front of me, I'm gonna eat it. Like it's in front of me, I'm gonna eat it. So I have to like self-control myself there, right? And you're more likely to reach your goals because you're focusing on what's the most important thing, right? Learning you and what's happening in your body. Because remember I said earlier, the fact is weight loss is a caloric deficit. And if you're not paying attention, right, you likely won't get where you want to go. So we took fat, proteins, and carbs, right? But here's the thing. You can be within your stuff, but you could still be high sugar and high sodium. Okay? In your MyFitnessPal, if you're tracking, if you're in IsaLife, I think IsaLife does it. I've just been in my for so long. IsaLife for other things and not to track my stuff. But here again is my screen to show you guys. Sugar, right, will take your body and it'll mess you up. Your body will only use so much sugar, right? And through your liver, the rest, the glucose will go into your fat cells, but it's going to mess up your insulin levels. I don't know if anyone's diabetic here or anything, but the reason why sugar, crack addiction, is because sugar will make your body, your insulin levels will give your body a chemical response to eat more, okay? So you eat sugar and you spike and then you slam, right? And then you eat sugar and you spike and then you slam, and you eat sugar and you spike and you slam. And with that, right? Oh my God, good. Katie said she's tracking her sodium. And so with that, oops, let me go back. Understanding how much sugar you need. Now your body needs sugar because your body takes that sugar and it delivers vitamin nutrients through your body. So my sugar intake should be no more than 45 grams. That includes fruit, vegetables, added sugars, right? I try to avoid the added sugars as much as possible. But let's face it, if my kid bakes a cupcake, I might have one, right? Every once in a while. So, but that comes from, and fruits and sugar. And people are like, oh my God, you can't eat fruit when you're dieting. Hell yes, you need to eat fruit, because do you see it here? Another important thing as women, listen, if you guys are finding that you're high protein and you can't go to the bathroom, check fiber. If not, take IsaFlush, check your fiber. Women, when we tend to go high protein, we need more fiber. So fruit is so important to a balanced diet. But if you're in weight loss mode, right? You're in weight loss mode, just manage it, right? Just manage it. I can't eat 3 bananas in a day. One, and My shakes have like 10 or 12 grams of sugar, right? So 20 grams of sugar goes there, and then I have 25 grams of sugar everywhere else, right? And then salt. So salt is 2,300 milligrams. You guys can see most of us are probably 2,300 milligrams. Katie said that she has to watch it. And I love what she talked about, our blood pressure. So when you eat too much salt, it creates extra water in your body, which raises your blood pressure. That's why you get high blood pressure, is because you have too much salt in your body. And now 2,300 milligrams seems like a lot, right? And it's decent, because your body needs the sodium, right? That's why we have electrolytes and things like that. Does anyone eat Chick-fil-A? I don't know, Chick-fil-A, no. So I love Chick-fil-A because my kids go there. So I tortilla soup, right? Oh, soup, really? You know, not that bad, a soup. In that bowl of soup, it had 24 something milligrams of sodium in one bowl of soup. I never logged it until one day I logged it, and I'll never eat the soup again, right? I'm like, no wonder it's so delicious. Who knows? But take a look at those, right? Monitor them. If you're feeling like, you know, you're stressed out and your blood pressure is going up, maybe it's too much salt. If you really feel like you're out of whack and you keep going in the kitchen, right? This is why I love isogenic shake days and intermittent fasting. Fasting plateaus your blood cells. And I'll talk about that in a training for you guys. But what I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to stop this share something else real quick. I have some cheat sheets out here that I use for my clients that I'm happy to share with you guys, just so you have an idea of what healthy meals go. Share. Okay, can we see again? Okay, so if you guys have worked with me, you might have seen these already. We're almost getting to the top of the hour, so I'll try to hurry this quickly. I'll make this available maybe online somewhere. But the protein cheat sheet, this just shows you here, I'll go in here, what the calorie, fat, and proteins are on certain meals. So you can have an idea, right? So low calorie, high protein, turkey breast, right? You can look here on chuck roast. It's high protein, but high calorie too, right? And so when you start to look at different things, you'll be able to see, like top-line steak, high calorie, high protein, right? And you'll see why your serving size might be a little bit different. So on sirloin, I might only want to do 3 ounces, right? And so just really understanding what the clean proteins are, egg whites, you know, tofu. I love tofu, guys. I love firm tofu. Seafood, like a lot of great proteins, but you'll see which ones are fattier. Bison, I think it's great. Bison's got a little more fat in it. Of course, beef chuck roast got lots of fat in it. You know, some meats have sugar in it because of the way they're processed. Okay, so just pay attention to that, right? Here are some vegetables, just to show you guys that vegetables have carbs and sugars. Okay, Brussels sprouts, 3 cups, 3 grams of sugar. Look, beets have got 9 grams of sugar, right? I love beets. Beets are amazing for you, by the way. Absolutely amazing because they oxidize your blood and your muscles, but they're higher in sugar, right? This is not to tell you which ones are better, which ones are not. It's just understanding that some fruits and that some vegetables have sugar in them, okay? And then like carbohydrates. For me, this list is low glycemic. If you're diabetic or not, I like low glycemic carbs because it has a less insulin resistance on your blood, okay? So whole wheat pastas, brown rice, quinoa, sweet potato. Sweet potato has a little bit more of, it's a little bit higher on the glycemic, but like half a banana. But look at the sugars in fruit, right? 1 medium banana is 12 grams, a medium apple, 16, blueberries are 15, pears, right? So you'll see that some of your fruits. Now, I have a cup, right? I generally don't eat a whole cup of fruit. I'm usually quarter cup, half a cup at each servings. But keep fruit in your diet because look at here, the fiber, right? Not many other foods have the fiber that we need in there. So understand that. And then the fats. So coconut oil, these are really healthy fats. Unsalted peanuts, avocado, flaxseed, chia seeds. Again, they all have their fat content. Some are more fibrous than others. I eat a lot of almonds because fiber is a big thing for me in my diet. But some have some natural sugars in it, right? And for those who are in isogenics, I'm going to show you a quick meal plan, and then I'll stop this because I know what we're going over a little bit here. But for a balanced meal plan, this is just over 1,300 calories. It's like a shake for breakfast. For my second meal is blueberries, egg whites, oatmeal, and almonds. It's a big snack, right? It's a lot of food. And then for lunch, it's another shake. And then for my second snack, it's like oh my God, speak here, Helen. It's turkey, like a salad. I could do a salad. So I got salad, I got lunch meat. I do the natural lunch meat, by the way, not the crappy stuff. Greek plain yogurt instead of like mayonnaise. And when I'm making a dressing, I love it. Cucumber, green peppers, and you could use ranch powder to make a ranch dressing, right? With your Greek yogurt. And then my dinner is chicken, zucchini, parmesan, spinach, and tomato basil. Guys, does that sound like a normal diet? That's a lot of food, right? Can we agree it's a lot of food? When you were eating clean, man, you could eat a lot of food, right? And for people who are not having isogenics, your breakfast might look like egg whites, peppers, toast, Ezekiel bread, salsa verde, avocado, and spinach to try to get that balance, right? And so those are some of the things that I understand. So I'm going to stop sharing so I can see everybody. And take a picture too. And that's kind of rotisserie chicken. Yeah, rotisserie chicken is great to have on the side, right? As things like that go. So I'm going to, that was a lot to digest, right, guys? There's a lot of information. I know. I was trying to make it simple, but let's face it, a lot of it is just understanding you. And if you become somebody who tracks food, like I'm happy to help you there. But for me, it's just the more you know about you and what you need. First of all, figure out how much calories you're burning in a day. If you got to have a watch, a Fitbit or Apple, yes. I don't know. Yes, everyone's got a watch. Okay, awesome. Go into your watch and figure out what you've been burning for yourself, right? And that gives you a baseline, right? Now, if you decide you're going to go and start working out every day, it's going to change, right? But having a different relationship with food is so important. When you guys start to have a different relationship with food, it's because you're having a different relationship with yourself, because now you give a shit. Sorry, but now you care, okay? When you don't pay attention and you don't do things, it just might be, it's not that you don't care, it just means that you're not focusing on you. And there's so much more to weight loss than just what you put in your body, because it has to come with the mind. Your head and your heart always have to be aligned when you're taking care of you. But if you guys don't know where to start, then you always feel like you can't start. And then if you feel like you're in this cycle, right, then you're always going to be yo-yoing. And that was me for a decade. I didn't know anything. I was just following whatever. Guys, my doctor prescribed me phentermine all the time. And then one day he's like, here's a sheet, eat 1,000 calories a day. That guy was putting me at a massive deficit, like 1,500 calorie deficit, because I was bigger, right? When you're bigger, you have a bigger TDE, right? When I first was losing weight, I was eating more calories. It's really important to understand you. I love doctors, but they got 15 minutes of nutritional background. So they're just going to give you whatever quick fix they think will work. Yes, if I eat 1,000 calories, I'm going to lose weight, but I'm going to lose the wrong weight, right? I just lost pounds in 11 days because I followed the system. I fed my body like crazy. I also fasted 4 days, but then I altered my body more than I have in a long time, right? And I just feel better. Mentally, finally feel better. And here was the thing, and I was talking terrible earlier, like everyone's like, I need to get motivated. I wasn't motivated. I just knew I had to do something. I'm like, man, Helen, this is your business, right? This is your business. And this whole pandemic thing, like, took me for a whirlwind, and I knew I had to jump in and just do it. And then once I started in, it was hard. My first couple of days, guys, I wanted to tell. I've given up on the detoxes a couple of times. And I pushed through it. And now I just tell my husband, I'm like, man, this was like the best thing I could have done for myself. Did you guys hear that? For myself. It was the best thing I could have done. Happier and more excited. Now I'm like, I'm going to go rock the next 20 days. right? I'm not going to blow the work I just did. Now I'm motivated because I was consistent. Okay. So I'm going to, does anybody have any questions? You want to hand up, talk about where you're at? Love to answer questions. I know I talked a lot. This is going to be recorded for those watching the recording. Okay, I got Tara first. Let me unmute you there. There you go, Tara.
So talk about, I've been playing with the idea of intermittent fasting. So how do you structure to get in everything you need when you're shortening your hours, your eating window?
Yeah, I should do a whole thing on intermittent fasting because that's a whole other hour conversation.
You know what? If you want to do that, I'll hold my question and give us an hour.
I'll give you like a very executive summary on intermittent fasting, right? So on intermittent fasting, I went aggressive and I 100 to eat to get my 1,000 calorie deficit, right? Because I went aggressive because I knew I needed to make major changes. In my intermittent fasting, it put me at another deficit, which helped accelerate my weight loss, right? And that's a bigger deficit because I was probably only eating about 500 calories those 2 days when we do the intermittent fast. But here is where the intermittent fast did something outside of the weight loss. The fast helped. The intermittent fast, if you guys ever see my before and after pictures, you'll see my muscle pop back up again. Because when you're fasting, right, it helps your human hormone growth. So that's what let my muscles just like go again, which is why athletes, intermittent fasting is so important for them for the muscle growth. It also kept me away from the cupcakes because I'm no longer having that sugar thing. So I needed that fast to plateau my insulins out because they were out of whack. And I had
do you do the intermittent fasting every day? The 16-8 or whatever you do?
I did 16-8 for a time, but this year I started the 16-8 since January, but I wasn't losing weight with it. I was just doing it for the health benefits because my caloric intake between my eating windows, my fed windows were not appropriate for weight loss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you gotta understand that. Again, caloric weight loss is caloric deficit, right? So you can intermittent fast and not be at a caloric deficit.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, I'm at my calories, and then at nighttime I'd go and have another meal with my husband. I'm like, here we go. Here goes my deficit. I'm maintaining, but that's good. but yes, the idea. It was a good question. Who else had a question? Lori, there you go, Lori.
Hey, I've been on isogenics for 3 years, doing the occasional 2-dayers, and I just did one, as I said to you, I just did a 2-day one last week, and I had great success, lost 5 pounds in 2 days, but then it has slowly creeped back on again.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating when you put that much effort into those 2 days and then you blow yourself up again.
Yeah. And there's two things that I always tell people with the fasting. Remember, some of it can be water weight because you're going pee more, right? You're
absolutely. Yep.
Water, right? So the scale cannot be an indicator of success for the cleansing and the detox. Mine was because I was hardcore. Now, after you fast, your body is at a very critical point because your digestive system just took a major vacation, right? Major vacation. So I always break my fast with my shake. That's why I always had my shake here because I was breaking my fast with my shake. But then if you introduce more sugar than normal, right? Your body just went from level and you just went, whoa! And you just threw it for a loop. It was like, man, Lori, we were doing so good. And you just spiked it, which is why I was telling you guys to watch your sodium and sugar, right? For me, I'm going to be extremely, extremely conscious about my sugar for the next week or two. I don't want to don't want my insulin to go out of whack. So making sure you drink a lot of water, right? There's something else that maybe your body's going through. So log your food, Lori, look at some of your nutrients and find out if you've maybe going too high. But remember, you're fasted more than just for you, but watch what you're eating after. I tell everybody, after a fast day, like don't touch the sugar. Just don't. You know, I mean, your fruits and vegetables, of course, but don't go and eat like a cupcake, right? Because it has a very different effect on your body.
Yeah.
So don't, like, my husband did the same thing. He started with me on his 11-day to 2-day on the weekend. And he had beer. He went to the gas station, got chips. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just vacation, and he blew it. Like, he totally blew it. But then he just fasted with me for 2 days and he lost 7 pounds in 2 days. But it's because he was holding a lot of inflammation, right?
Yeah, that's my issue as well, because I've got a lot of arthritis, so it's everything, my joints get inflamed, and you go for a walk and it's like you can hardly walk by the time you're finished your walk.
So Lori, I would suggest to you to Google foods to reduce inflammation and start adding a lot of that into your diet. Believe it or not, clean foods will increase inflammation to your body, right?
Okay.
Like dairy is a huge culprit from my body. Cheese, a huge culprit for inflammation in my body, right? I try not to eat cheese the 11 days. I had a little bit, but it was just one of those things where understanding your body.
Yeah, because the other success with the fast was I lost an inch off my waist in 2 days.
There you go.
I was like, okay, the weight can come back on, but let's keep the waist down.
Yeah. So for you, Lori, I would track and just learn. Track and learn.
Okay.
Track and learn, right? Look at your nutrients and just seeing where you can readjust and making sure you're eating enough.
Okay. So you're going to send us, will you send out those sheets and stuff so that we?
Yeah, I'll post that link out. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
Hang on, I got another hand here. Samsung. Where's Samsung? It says, oh wait. Oh, there you go.
I'm new to this. Okay.
Hey, what's your name?
Kim.
Kim. Okay, Kim. Hey.
Okay. So I'm hearing all this and I'm somewhat knowledgeable about it. I've been doing isogenics for 2 years. I had really great success during my first, 120 days. With not, my huge goal back then was, 10 pounds. Now it's still that kind of same 5 to 10 pounds. So it's not, some huge number, but I struggle for those 5 pounds. I feel like I work just as damn hard as someone who needs to lose 70, and they just don't like to fall off. I do marathons, half Ironman. So the physical activity, I lift 3 to 5 times a week. That part, the exercise is the easy part for me. It's trying to figure out these numbers, and I do the Fitness Pals. I usually have, either proteins higher than carb or they're pretty equal. And so I'm just, this whole eating enough part, sometimes I question, well, how do I do that in terms of eating enough, but still stay within a caloric, estimate? Usually I'll burn on a slow day, 1,800 calories. On an exercise day, it's, 23, on a really heavy exercise day, it could be up to 3,000 calories on the watch, at least on the Garmin watch.
Yep.
But yet, it's not like weight's coming off. So I just feel kind of stuck. And so sometimes it's just like, well, just hell in the handbasket, if I'm not going to lose anything, might as well just eat what I want, which I know isn't the right mindset, but there's just those days where it's like, I'm working so hard, and why, I'm not achieving the same, I guess, that similar kind of impact that I initially had.
Yeah. You ready for this, Kim?
And yeah.
So you still train for marathons? You still work heavy, lift heavy? Okay.
I'd say lift frequent. I can't always say it's like, huge, like 100, weights, but
Your strength training. You're probably not eating enough, and your balance has to be higher carb.
Yeah.
So you need to be more at like 55% carb, 35% protein, like 20% fat. I don't know. If you went like, let's say you went 50, 30, 20, right? Because your body, it won't release the excess fat because it's storing it for energy, because you keep burning the energy you're giving, and there's not enough in there, right? So you might be losing muscle. There's very different. It's hard to maintain a muscular body when you're.
Gained some muscle. I had muscle to begin with, but it became, I think in certain parts it gained, and now it feels like it's not going anywhere in the muscle department, or it's actually getting smaller, despite the fact that I'm still doing, the weights.
Yeah. So here's a few things too. A couple of things that I find with a lot of my athletes. I'll share you guys a little story, and Tara knows who she is, and I don't know if she'll watch the recording or not, but one of my customers came in for me with weight loss. She lost 40 pounds, did amazing. She followed her food. She learned her food, right? And we started her off at like 1,400 calories for her to lose weight, right? Then she became a runner, right? Then she started to run, right? Tara, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And now, right, for her to continue to lose weight, she has to eat like 2,300 calories.
Mhm.
So can you imagine when your mind, when we grew up with decades of don't eat, you'll get, you know, so you lose weight. And now I'm telling people, now you got to eat like 1,000 calories more to keep losing weight. Your body needs that energy to do what it wants to do, or it's just going to hold on to that fat. Another thing too, and I'll tell you guys because we're all ladies on here, stress holds fat. Sometimes those 5 pounds, guys, sometimes 5 pounds can be trauma, right? Now, I'm going to be honest, it can be trauma. When you stress a lot and your cortisol levels are all the way up, if you guys are isogenics, you guys know, oh, I got to mute here. You know, ionics actually almost stops the production of cortisol, because if you can't control your cortisol levels, right, it holds on to fat, right? Which is why if you're an ionics drinker, twice a day is beautiful if you have a lot of stress, because you need to combat that cortisol big time, right? And so sometimes that's what kicks around. But Kim, I have a feeling you're not eating, and you're not eating to the balance that your body requires.
Right. Okay.
Right. And if you find that, you can still find that happy medium deficit, but your deficit will have a different balance in macros, which is higher carb, right? Most endurance athletes definitely need a higher carb because it needs that energy and that energy source. And the protein is just there to repair your body.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
And I got Robin here. Let me unmute you. Hey, Robin.
Hi, I've got my video off because I'm running out the door. I've got to help find a dog. I started Isogenics 1 March, and a friend of mine introduced it to me, and I've lost 12 pounds. I'm 3 pounds from my goal, and last year was a horrible year for me, mentally, physically, and spiritually. I've got the mental down and I've got the spiritual down. Now I'm working on the physical. I used to be extremely active. I'm in the military, so I was running a lot and lifting weights and, you know, lean, mean fighting machine. However, now, last year, due to injuries, inflammation, mental issues, spiritual issues, I wasn't able to, I just went into a pit. So I'm coming out of that pit. I feel 1 week of taking Isogenics, I felt 100% better. So now I can't run right now. I'm walking. I've now realized I do not know how to clean eat. I thought I was clean eating. You showed me that example. I am not clean eating. I need help with meal prep. I have 2 teenagers. I have an athlete. Well, both of them are athletes. And my husband is doing Isogenics. And so I need to get us all on a healthy meal plan that my teenagers will eat. And I found out through doing Isogenics that I am gluten sensitive. And I'm also I'm not going to say a peanut allergy. I just cannot eat peanuts. They make me so sick. So, I'm having all this time out and inflammation. I'm researching inflammation foods, so I'm trying to avoid those so I can start back on my running. I need help with meal prep and recipes and good clean eating. I've got to do all that you said with the TDEE, and I haven't done any of that.
Yeah. I mean, start there. Like, listen, I want you to learn as much as like you can on your own, because it's so important. I'm here to help, definitely. If you guys are ever looking for one-on-one coaching accountability, this can be a completely different conversation on the side. But I think if you start looking at some of that information on your own, you're just going to have like a major aha moment, right? And that aha moment is so important for you, right? I don't want to teach you the aha moment. I want you to find it, right? And then like if somebody decides to, if not, it's cool. But even in our groups, like post, like, this is what I learned. Like, oh my God, my pasta, I probably shouldn't eat the full dish. I should have it as I love pasta. We don't really eat it in my house. For me, mentally, pasta was a meal, right? It's no longer a meal in my house. It's a side dish because a meal makes like, it's 80 grams of carbs. So Robin, for you, I'm going to hit a couple points for you. Learning how to eat clean and balanced takes a little while. It takes some practice, and it takes practice to learn what you like, right? How you like food. Because if I could sit there and tell you to eat spinach or kale and chicken, you're like, ooh, this is never going to happen for me, right? And then you won't do anything. Finding the foods that your family already currently loves and then making that work, right? Everyone thinks so much about, oh, I got to make a drastic change. It's like, no, find the foods you love to eat, the common foods, the easy foods, the foods that you know everyone will eat, and make them. So for us, I'm going to mute you for a second, Robin, okay? Hang on a second. We prep a lot of meats, okay? My kids will probably eat most of the meat. My kids will never eat the vegetables that I cook. They just don't. Maybe, but most of my kids will not eat. At least I know the protein source, right? I end up putting the protein source in a bun for my kids and air frying some, potatoes or some pasta or thing, or at least my old, right? But having that common thing in the house is really great, like a bunch of chicken if they like it. I have to make shrimp so my kids will eat it. Sometimes I do breaded stuff in the air fryer, but finding that is really good. In our Isogenics page, I think there's already a recipe book in one of the guidelines. Just looking at that recipe book is going to inspire you to say, oh, I can eat that? Okay. Because I think we get so caught up in chicken salad. Like, oh, I'm going to make a grilled chicken salad, right? And first inkling on how to eat healthy, that I encourage you not to make a salad for an entire month and learn to eat without a salad. Because for me, a lot of people, salad just tells me diet mentality, where I want you to learn to eat balance. Have your steak, have a little bit of piece of potato, right? Have your vegetables on the side, right? Learn to eat that. Somebody will be like, well, we're meat and veggie people. Perfect. We're meat and potato people. Awesome. Let me teach you how to eat it, right? Remember, when I talked about tracking your food like money, you have a personal allowance for food, right? Whatever your goals are, right? If your goals are weight loss, you're going to figure out what you're going to be. If it's maintain, you know what you need to be at, right? It's like handing it over and saying, this is where you could spend your money on. Now, it's no different than me giving my kids $10 and they go and spend it on online stuff that they'll never see versus a book, right? Same money, two different choices, right? Same calories for you guys. You have very different choices. You could go very dirty with your calories, or you could keep it as clean as possible. And I think that's where you got to really mix around. And Robin, for you, it was just having the conversation with your family, finding out what everybody loves. If you can keep the protein the same for the family, you're winning, right? The sides for my family are always way off. My kids are, eat sides. Please don't.
Yeah,
Hope that was, I don't know if you guys are all friends with me on Facebook or not, but you guys know I'm on the group and you're happy to message. If for whatever reason I don't reply back, just go on my Facebook page and saying, I sent you a message, Helen. I always forget to check my hidden messages. But is everyone good? Was this helpful? I know it's long. I appreciate for most of you hanging on. Was this helpful? If you guys don't have a MyFitnessPal, get on it, learn it. Take some time, look at your watch, look what your TDEs are, understand your body, right? You might be excited that your TDE is like 3,000 calories and you're like, dang, I get to eat 2,000 calories to lose weight. This is awesome, right? But go by your average, right? I don't work out every day. So I had to figure out my average, okay? We good? Awesome. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you guys letting me go over. This was a really great chat. I think I'll do more of these and start going, maybe we'll learn about intermittent fasting. Maybe we'll learn about other things as we go, because I think for me, it was such a big part of my journey. And if I could pass it on and help you guys be successful, that would be awesome. So
thank you so much, Helen.
Yes. Have an amazing day. Bye.